coverage on KGW+.
The American people are getting ripped off. Their healthcare prices are doubling. It's hurting so many millions of families across the country.
Right now in KGW, a new agreement could bring an end to the longest government shutdown in American history, while all 4 senators from Oregon and Washington voted no, saying that they want to address healthcare costs in a different way.
Plus, a new immigration controversy is brewing on the Oregon coast. Federal officials are reportedly considering a new ICE facility in Newport, the location they're eyeing and the reaction from local officials. Then,
the reality is that the time that the governor took to delay, we weren't sitting on our hands. We were organizing.
Oregon Governor Tina Kotek finally signs the state's long-awaited transportation funding package. Now opponents of the new taxes are racing to meet a deadline so you can vote on it and later.
I get to, operate a bunch of really interesting equipment and, go home and see my wife and my 3-month-old kid every day, and it's really nice.
it is a good energy day here at KGW, and today we're highlighting One Northwest Company, helping veterans power their futures. The 7 o'clock hour, Sunrise, starts right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Tim Gordon in for Drew Carney today. Rod Hill standing by with a look at your weather for Veterans Day Tuesday. Rod?
Yeah, it's a good day to have dry weather, and we have dry weather across our entire region. So your outdoor plans, ceremonies, trips to the cemetery, all dry today. So thumbs up there. Here's Snook Winds Casino Resort at the coast. This has seen kind of some brightness at times through the mostly cloudy deck. Here's kind of a bleached out look, but that's some clouds with some partly sunny conditions out in the gorge as well. That's the Oregon Veterans Home camera out in the Dalles. Light winds in the gorge today. And there's our familiar shot of the Capitol Mall down in Salem. Cloudy skies, 49 degrees, a light north wind at 7 miles per hour. So our forecast today, just kind of uneventful. No rain chance at all. Varying degrees of cloudiness to partly sunny to cloudy skies expected. 48 out the door, 54 at noon, and about 56 when the kids get out of school. Sun's almost coming up. 7:05 will go down at 4:44 this afternoon. That's your forecast.
Thanks a lot, Rod. Well, 2 months after the Oregon legislature passed billions of dollars in transportation funding, Governor Tina Kotek has now finally signed the bill.
Money will be used to fund road maintenance projects and prevent layoffs. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us now. So, Thomas, why did it take so long for Governor Kotek to sign this legislation?
Yeah, well, Tim and China, really boils down to political gamesmanship. Oregon Republicans have long said that once Governor Kotek signs this bill, they'd push to revert it to voters. So Kotek just decided to wait quite some time to sign it, more than a month. And this is a really key piece of legislation worth $4.3 billion over 10 years. Republicans couldn't begin gathering signatures until the bill was actually signed. Now they have less than 2 months to begin the process of trying to get this thing on a ballot next November. On Monday, State Senator Bruce Starr filed the paperwork.
The reality is that the time that the governor took to delay, we weren't sitting on our hands. We were organizing, we were communicating, we were raising money.
Republicans have until the end of the year to gather 78,000 signatures. For months, they've argued Oregonians just can't afford any more taxes, saying transportation funding could come from cuts to public transit, bike, and environmental programs instead. That idea never gained traction among Democrats, who muscled this bill through amid Republican opposition. It includes a 6-cent gas tax increase, higher vehicle title and registration fees, and an increase in the public transit payroll tax. Without the funding, ODOT would have had to lay off hundreds of workers. And this has been a controversial bill for quite some time now. Already, Starr says more than 4,000 Oregonians have expressed support for this Republican petition, though he recognizes with limited time, it'll be a challenge to get the signatures needed. Now, Republicans are hoping to get 100,000 signatures by the end of the year. If they're able to do that, they could get this on a ballot in November, where voters would make the decision over this funding. Guys?
Thomas, thanks a lot.
There is nothing in this that prevents the president from canceling programs that are in the spending bills, and that's outrageous. That's stealing the power of the purse. That's unconstitutional.
And that's Oregon Senator Jeff Merkley reacting to the new deal that may end the longest government shutdown in American history. Yesterday, the Senate passed a temporary funding package after 7 Democrats and an independent broke ranks. And that government funding through January.
It also includes long-term funding for 3 government agencies, including the SDA, which funds SNAP food benefits. The bill also reverses the layoffs of federal workers at the start of the shutdown. Now, notably here, the bill does not include anything around extended Affordable Care Act subsidies. That was the red line for most Democrats, with all 4 senators from Oregon and Washington opposing the bill for that reason. Instead, the deal includes a promise of a vote next month on extending those subsidies, though Senator Merkley expressed doubt that the vote will amount to much.
Yeah, I'm extremely disturbed by what's happening tonight, because a group from our caucus made a deal to end our leverage, which produces simply some vote in the future that won't actually be a bill that has a chance of getting out of the Senate, let alone through the House. And that undercut our effort, for sure, to produce a health care win.
And meanwhile, until a final deal is signed to end the government shutdown, expect flight delays and cancellations to continue. The FAA has told airlines to cut 10% of daily flights by the end of the week. We talked to one man at PDX who's had his flight canceled 4 times.
It's kind of defeating to show up to the airport and see that your flight's been canceled last minute, and now you gotta go get another hotel, go get another rental car, because the airlines aren't gonna provide you any sort of vouchers or anything like that.
So today, this morning, 12 departing flights and 11 arriving flights at PDX have already been canceled.
And when it comes to SNAP benefits, the Trump administration is once again asking the Supreme Court to keep full payments on hold during the shutdown. Over the weekend, the White House demanded states that already paid out November benefits like Oregon and Washington to undo it. And now both governors are urging people to check their EBT cards and use the funds that are on there.
Yeah, it comes after the states were able to get a district court to put a new temporary order in place yesterday that keeps the funds available while the Supreme Court considers its next move. KGW's Libby Dowsett explains.
Elaine has asked us not to use her last name, but shared that she gets about $300 a month through SNAP to feed herself. So seeing that benefit show up last week was a huge relief.
I was thinking, praise the Lord.
But it's no joke for Elaine trying to find backup food at local food pantries.
It is exhausting. You have to get there at a certain time and wait online, and you're not really certain whether you're going to even get anything that you can eat.
Folks at William Temple House are trying to help. They've seen a record number of people show up for food at their food pantry this month.
The line wrapped around the block, which I have not seen before, and we exceeded our daily record. So we had 167 people come through.
Social Services Director Kevin Ryan says one man tried 5 other pantries before finally finding food here. Monday, volunteers packed emergency food bags for those who show up unannounced.
One loss of a benefit like this could make someone homeless. There's a direct line from losing benefits when you have to pay $200 for food. You have to make a choice.
Even with lawmakers touting an end in sight to the federal shutdown, the court battles continue over whether to resume food aid payments in full. The governors of Oregon and Washington assuring people they now have their benefits. Washington Governor Bob Ferguson releasing a statement Sunday saying, quote, "Everyone who receives SNAP benefits should check the status of their cards. If there are funds available, people can use them." But the Trump administration is still fighting the payments in court. The U.S. Department of Agriculture saying it shouldn't be forced to use certain funds for SNAP that might be needed elsewhere. More confusion for people just trying to get by.
It's hard for people to make life choices when they don't know what's coming next.
That was our Libby Dowsett reporting. We expect the Supreme Court to make a decision later today on the future of SNAP benefits. Oregon and Washington's governors have vowed to challenge any federal attempt to reclaim the funds.
130,000 seniors in Oregon rely on SNAP, and organizations like Meals on Wheels People, which serves homebound adults, says it can't keep up with new requests from seniors. Although it turns out the program itself is at risk, since 30% of its budget comes from the Older Americans Act, which has not been reauthorized during the shutdown.
We don't know when the next shoe is going to drop, so to speak. So it's a really frightening time, and most older people, they are alone. They don't have that much contact. They're really isolated, so it's hard to continue to say, well, we can feed you today, but not tomorrow.
Suzanne Washington there says they haven't had to turn anyone away yet, but they're still asking for community support through volunteering or donations. And hey, you can watch the full episode, an interview with Meals on Wheels, also the Oregon Food Bank on there, on the newest episode of Straight Talk. You can stream it anytime on our free TV app, KGW+.
A group called the Urban Sketchers gathers once a month in Portland with sketch pads in hand to capture the city they see. They're part of a global community that started in Seattle in 2007 and now includes 500 chapters in 70 countries. And on a crisp fall Saturday morning, they turned downtown's Director Park into an open-air studio.
The really great thing about it being an international group is that you can find Urban Sketchers anywhere.
There were 50 of us, and there were artists from all over the world, and I felt instantly like I met my tribe.
Yeah, I'm one of the Urban Sketchers. I've been here a few years. This is our last trip. We went to OMSI.
After 2 hours of doodling and drawing, it's time for what they call the throwdown, where Sketchers share and celebrate each other's work. So in our latest episode of The Story, Laurel Porter takes us to Urban Sketches. It's a gathering and shows us what they're capturing. You can watch the story anytime on our free TV app, KGW+.
That sounds pretty fun. All right, let's check in with Rod Hill now. And hey, ooh, beautiful behind you. Nothing
Yes.
sketchy about that, my friend.
Yes. Yes, really pretty. I can show off pretty things. I cannot produce them myself. One of our 2 live Timberline cameras, so partly cloudy skies up top. Temperature's been running warm this week up at Timberline. It's 40 degrees, only snow left is what has been kind of piled up from the snows that we had late October. Basically, there's nothing on the ground outside of that. And all of a sudden, there's reason to think, are we going to have enough snow to be open on Thanksgiving weekend? Time will tell. Your day moving forward for a dry Veterans Day, 48 degrees at 8 o'clock, low 50s. Late morning, 58 at 2 and 56 degrees at 5 p.m. Just north winds today, 5 to 10. Kind of a mixed bag in reality of clouds to partly sunny skies to increasing clouds across the area, but no rain chance across our entire state. And the cameras have been back and forth between showing some brightness and overcast. Right now looking more cloudy over the Pioneer Courthouse from the Pioneer Park building. Temperature out at the airport is 48 degrees. Here are the other temperatures, 47 in downtown, 47 in Vancouver. Cool spot now, Scappoose and Tigard. Well, I was saying 44, but my eyes just spotted you folks out in Hillsboro. It's 42, so you're the cool spot right now. 44 in McMinnville. It is 50 degrees down in Albany and Corvallis. So again, no weather-related issues today. Just all dry, light winds. Temperatures considered nice and mild for this time of the year. 57 Tillamook and Portland at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Bend expected to see another day up into the 60s. And there's John Day at 61, 7-day forecast. We have a dry day tomorrow as well. Cloudy skies on your Wednesday, back up to about 58. Then we have showers coming in either late evening or overnight. So there will be rain around Thursday morning. None of this looks to be strong, just occasional rain or showers Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that is your update.
Thank you, Rod.
That level of scrutiny is drilled into us from day one as a nuclear operator. And so coming here, it's a lot easier to take it as seriously as we need to.
Still ahead on Sunrise, it's a good energy day at KGW. At this Veterans Day, we are showing you how One Northwest Company is helping vets power their next mission. Plus,
It's not too early for you?
No, it's already November. It's time for there to be snow.
an early round of winter blankets is part of the U.S. and snow and cold temps. So take a look at the winter weather conditions next on Sunrise.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
It's a good energy day here at KGW, and we spotlight people, business, and communities doing good things for the environment.
Yeah, today is also Veterans Day, and it's a perfect time to show how one Northwest energy company is helping U.S. veterans find their next mission. Here's KGW's Chris McGinnis with the story.
From this operations center in Vancouver, Avangrid manages the flow of electricity from 80 energy projects spanning 23 states.
Avangrid is an energy generation company. Our fleet of projects can generate enough power for over 3 million homes every year.
Avangrid oversees more than 10 gigawatts of power nationwide, most of it from wind and solar, making it one of the largest energy producers in the nation. But beyond the technology, this control room is powered by people, and more than half of them are military veterans. One of the newest is systems operator Jesse Hobson, fresh off deployment aboard the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier USS Dwight D. Eisenhower.
I was a nuclear operator trainer in the Navy, so I was training other nuclear operators on how to handle a nuclear reactor in a combat zone.
Now he's found a new mission, still operating powerful machinery, but in a much calmer setting.
We call it our pie screen. It has all of our sites and all of our generation and how much they can be producing and a whole bunch of data. It is the heart of what we look at.
Hobson says if a storm hits a wind site in Minnesota or a lightning strike trips a breaker in Texas, he can adjust output remotely, keeping the grid balanced and crews safe.
The sites are designed to handle storms, but if we have, lightning strikes can take out stuff. If we have a breaker open suddenly because of a lightning strike because there's a massive storm overhead, we can bring it back pretty easily once the storm clears.
He says the precision and calm learned in the Navy transfers perfectly to this job.
On the ship, some small mistake somewhere could cause someone down in the boiler room to get hit by a massive amount of steam and be seriously injured for the rest of their life. And so that level of scrutiny is drilled into us from day one as a nuclear operator. And so coming here, it's a lot easier to take it as seriously as we need to.
And this time, his work comes with a little more balance.
I get to, operate a bunch of really interesting equipment and, go home and see my wife and my 3-month-old kid every day, and it's really nice.
Avangrid says it's proud to employ veterans like Hobson, people who bring mission-driven focus to the country's growing energy needs. And that's good energy. Chris McGinnis, KGW News.
Oh my God, it is snowing. Look at the snow.
Well, would you look at that?
Look at that.
This is in the Midwest, where many woke up to a blanket of snow yesterday. The early round of winter brought more than a foot a spot in Indiana, bringing down trees there. State police there say that they were at 130 crashes. In Wisconsin, cars were also covered by about 10 inches, and it was a messy commute for those in Chicago with gusty winds doing their part, though many welcomed it.
This is my favorite kind of day. Yeah, it's a light snow. It's cold, but not freezing, at least from my perspective. I'm here for it. I like it.
And millions of people in the South are also facing freezing alerts this morning. The Arctic blast is forecast to spread across the eastern U.S. and dozens of record lows could be set today.
Oh, Rod's here. They're used to it,
Yeah,
right?
I like that. Like she said, light snow. I'm looking at, I think that's her dog. Looked like 5-6 inches of snow, just judging by the dog's legs disappearing in the snow there. Most of the snow clips are from lake effect snow belts.
What does lake effect mean?
So basically, you get the boundary layer, the lower level of the cold air moving across the lake. The Great Lakes are a big enough body of water that there's enhanced evaporation coming up. So the lower levels grab that added moisture and then they drop it as snow.
Oh, okay.
It's typically almost like cotton candy in that it's really light, dry, fluffy snow. But because of that, it stacks up to a depth really quickly. Yeah. Here's a look at what the temperatures are this morning. So, you know, technically, if you say Arctic blast, that's a geographic location that the air mass has migrated out of. I point that out because nothing here is that cold. I mean, it's 32 in Chicago, it's 32 in Ontario, 31 in Cleveland. Now, Atlanta, they're in the 30s, and they're probably, they're saying, oh my gosh, it's really cold outside. But up around the Great Lakes, it's November, and there's nothing unusual here. A lot of these temperatures will be rebounding drastically going into the weekend. New York, 37 right now, will be 50s. If not tomorrow, the day after. And St. Louis could actually be pushing 80 degrees this weekend. That's a rapid turnaround, 36 degrees for them right now. Here's the radar, and you're looking for the enhanced colors of white. So these are lake effect snow runs coming across the Great Lakes into Pennsylvania and New York. And you can see the moisture up and down the Great Lakes. In fact, some of it's showing up as rain on radar right along the shoreline there into Michigan. Okay, where we are, we're all dry completely. No rain chance anywhere today. We're kind of in between systems, but we are getting cloudiness in the upper flow pattern streaming overheads. Cameras show a mixed bag of clouds and blue. Here's blue up over timberline, pretty shy. I wanted to show you this because I've been mentioning that there's really no snow base right now. And if you look at the weather models, all of a sudden it's not a certainty that we have snow on the ground enough to open up the resorts for Thanksgiving weekend, which is always the goal. Last year we got spoiled. It was basically this week a year ago that the mountains opened for daily operations and then never shut down again. So quite a bit of a slower start this time around, but more of a typical start. It's a dry Veterans Day. Our next chance of rain showers in the valley pops tomorrow evening, or maybe not until the overnight. The big update to the rain pattern Thursday through Sunday is a weakening of all the systems that are now showing on the weather models. We will be getting some rain Thursday through Sunday, but these are all weak systems and warmer than what they were looking to be. Now it appears the snow level will generally be not lower than 5,000 feet, and for the most part, we're looking at just wet cascade passes through the weekend. It's that time of the year. You would always want to check conditions before you go. How much rain are we talking about? Well, 4-day totals show maybe just closer to 3/4 of an inch in Salem, over an inch though to maybe 2 at the coast. But again, if you consider it's November and these are 4-day totals, that means most days are going to get no more than about 1/4 of an inch of rain in Portland and Salem. So that's just typical stuff coming through. Pretty early morning shot from the Chehalem Tasting Room out in Sherwood. 45 is the temperature. 39 in Kelso now, one of the colder spots. It's also 39 in John Day and 39 in Bend. And here's your 7-day forecast. All dry today, 58. All dry tomorrow, 58 too. Solid clouds tomorrow. The rain at times or showery weather Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And that is your update.
Thank you, Rod. Coming up in your national headlines, tensions erupt at UC Berkeley, the event leading up to the clash, and just how many were arrested.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Now to your morning rush. A suicide bomber struck outside the gates of a district court in Islamabad, Pakistan today, killing 12 people and wounding 27 others. The Pakistani Interior Minister said the bomber tried to enter the court but didn't get in and instead targeted a police vehicle parked outside. The minister refrained from blaming any militant group but added that authorities are looking into all aspects of that attack. Protests outside a Turning Point USA event at the University of California, Berkeley turned violent last night. 2 people were arrested. The event was the final stop of the group's America Comeback Tour and was their first at a college in California since co-founder Charlie Kirk's death at a campus in Utah. And Ghislaine Maxwell, co-conspirator of the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, is seeking a pardon from President Trump. That's according to a whistleblower who spoke to House Democrats. Maxwell is currently serving a 20-year prison sentence for helping Epstein prey sexually on children and young women.
Next on Sunrise, a big league betting scandal shakes up the majors. What 2 pitchers are accused of doing that is sparking new restrictions in the MLB.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Good morning on this Veterans Day. My pleasure to tell you we have completely dry weather today, so your outdoor plans, maybe you're going to the cemetery, it's all dry today, so good news there. We have cloudy skies, but there's really no rain threat whatsoever. Cloudy skies from this camera, I should say, looking out over the Columbia from the springs at the waterfront. But look at this one. Here's the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out on Loa looking to the west, and that's sunny blue. So clearly we have a variety of sky conditions out there to greet you. This is a day that generally will be kind of a mixed bag of mostly cloudy to partly sunny to becoming cloudy with increasing clouds later today from the south. But again, not much of any wind and no rain chance at all. 48 out the door, 54 degrees for you at noon, and then 56 at 5 o'clock. I have one more dry day for the valley. It's tomorrow. There might be some afternoon showers start to hit the coast tomorrow on Wednesday. But for Portland, it's more late evening or overnight showers. And then from Thursday into Sunday, rain at times, but all of a sudden, the weather makers, if you will, look to be weak. So at most, we're probably looking at about a quarter of an inch of rain on any of those 4 days.
Well, it's a tasty thank you for those who served. Today, In-N-Out Burger, It's honoring veterans and active duty service members with a free meal. That includes any burger, get the double-double, fries, and a drink. All in the house this Veterans Day. To Kaiser, Oregon, Ridgefield, Washington, that's where you need to go. Just show a valid military ID and enjoy one of the West Coast's favorites. No strings attached. In and out.
Except you have to wait in line for an hour and 35 minutes to get that burger.
Oh, well worth it.
Here's a real embarrassing story. So I enjoy traveling to the service academies. I've been to all of them.
Okay.
And I've got a hoodie sweatshirt to all of them, right?
Oh.
So I'm wearing, I think it was my Air Force hoodie on a Veterans Day a couple years back. Totally unaware of what was happening. And people throughout the day were like, thank you for your service, thank you for your service. Being the arrogant weatherman I am, at first I thought they were talking about me being a weather person. And then my daughter realized, Dad, it's Veterans Day. I think they think you served in the military.
Jeez.
So anyway, we thank our veterans for their service.
We sure.
I know that was
Rod!
I will not ever wear a hoodie military sweatshirt on Veterans Day again because I did not serve our country.
We thank you for your forecast, though.
Thank you, Tim.
I think you just say bless your heart on that one.
Bless your heart. It was an innocent mistake. It really was. All right. Cloudy skies to not cloudy. It's really a mixed bag. One thing we're tracking is we do think there's going to be a surge of more solid cloudiness coming up from our south during the day today, but there's no rain chance anywhere. Here's our state capital. We have clouds, beautiful fall colors still. 49 is the number down in Salem, light north wind at 7. And it's cloudy over Portland, but you jump on the other side of the West Hills and it's fairly clear going out over Beaverton and Hillsborough this morning. So again, it kind of depends on where you are. 48 is the number there. Our day moving forward, similar temperatures to what we've been seeing, mid-50s I think at noon, and I've got us up to about 56 or 58 for a high temperature this afternoon on this Veterans Day. That's your forecast.
Thank you, Rod. Developing this morning, we are learning that immigration officials are reportedly looking to open a new ICE facility along the Oregon coast. The Newport Municipal Airport has been identified as a possible location.
And Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us now live. And Thomas, what's the reaction to this from Newport leaders?
Yeah, well, Tim, in China, Newport's mayor says she's deeply concerned by this, though adds that she's still trying to verify information since they're just beginning to learn about this. Newport city leaders said that they've also reached out to the Department of Homeland Security, both calling and emailing them. They do say that those calls have gone unanswered. City leaders say it's still unclear exactly what the facility would be used for. In a statement, Mayor Jan Kaplan said the safety of the community is her highest priority, adding, quote, "We are committed to uphold fairness and dignity for all who call Newport home. Any proposal that has the potential to impact those principles deserves transparency, public input, and a thorough review of potential social and economic consequences." The City Council is also getting involved here. They plan to hold a meeting on Wednesday at 6 p.m. to review what they know so far.
And Thomas, has the city had discussions with state leaders about this at all?
Yeah, China, they have. They say that they've reached out to both state and federal leaders really to determine what are the rights of the city in this situation. We also reached out to U.S. Senator in Oregon, Ron Wyden, who told us in a statement, quote, "Any unilateral decision made 3,000 miles away from Newport about using any part of this coastal community for an ICE detention facility would be both alarming and asinine." Wyden adds that he is working along with state and local leaders to figure out some questions that they plan to ask the Trump administration of the Department of Homeland Security, questions that have so far gone unanswered. We reached out to DHS as well. Our response has not yet been answered either. Guys?
Okay, Thomas, thanks very much. Well, tomorrow, Portland City Council will consider whether it should slash funding for homeless removal, camps removal, I should say. That's something the mayor and neighbor advocates are against. Councilor Angelita Murillo wants to cut $4.33 million from the impact reduction program's roughly $14 million budget. That's the team responsible for removing homeless camps, a practice Councilor Murillo says she does not support. Instead, she wants to put the funds towards safety improvements and toward helping people afford food and rent. That idea is facing pushback.
This is just not well thought out, and it needs to be stopped.
I think once you give like a camp any sense of permanence, that's when things get wildly out of control.
We are spending millions and millions of dollars to move people from sidewalk to sidewalk.
And you can hear more of those perspectives in our full report from Blair Best. Just watch the newest episode of The Story anytime on our free TV app, KGW Plus.
All right, let's get you caught up on some other headlines this morning. A Portland man will spend 30 years in prison for plotting a mass shooting at a climbing festival in Central Oregon. When authorities arrested Samson Garner in October 2023, they say he was armed with multiple guns, body armor, and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. Police say that he planned to open fire on climbers and spectators. A Deschutes County jury convicted Garner on 23 felony charges, including attempted murder and assault.
A Washington County man facing numerous sexual assault charges is now also accused in a murder for hire plot. Authorities say 58-year-old Drew Hendricks offered to pay two men to kill someone. According to investigators, the men planned the murder while they were all in the Washington County jail. The targeted victim was not hurt. Hendricks is also accused in sexual assault and kidnapping cases in both Aloha and Columbia County. All three men are now in custody.
Portland firefighters had to rescue a person from this wreckage in the Cully neighborhood. That's after authorities say that a car flipped yesterday evening near Northeast Cully Boulevard and Emerson Street, and the person was pinned underneath. Firefighters got them out onto the hospital. No word on their condition right now or if anyone else was hurt.
And in an update this morning, the bump is apparently back. The bump, we hate the bump. We're talking about the one that's on Highway 26 at about milepost 13. That's not far from the coast. ODOT says the rascal in the road is not as severe as it used to be, thanks to work that was done over the summer. But the highway is in a historic landslide area that can push the road up, especially when it rains a lot, which of course it has. So ODOT is adding more drainage under that road to try and prevent the problem from getting worse. Again, they ask drivers to be cautious and slow down there.
Your time now is 7:36, 70 Road Hill. You know exactly what we're talking about when we say the bump.
The bump, yes. I feel like it's almost becoming a tourist attraction, which you don't want it to be, right?
No.
Let's hope that new drainage gets rid of that problem. We have a good-looking Veterans Day. It's a day that it is always, I think, a little nice if it's completely dry for your outdoor activities as we think about the men and women serving our country. 48 this morning, 52 at 11, mid to upper 50s from 2 to 5 p.m. this afternoon. Winds just light to north, kind of partly sunny to increasing clouds, or really it's just kind of a mixed bag. I mean, right now we have overcast spots, and I just showed the camera a moment ago out in Hillsboro that shows clear skies, so it kind of depends on where you are. Sun go down at 4:44. Later this afternoon. Speaking of sun, here's Lincoln City, Chinookwa's Casino Resort. A beautiful day. Cloudiness expected to be increasing. You'll see light winds and temperatures in the 50s as well. Here's the Providence Park camera looking off to the West Hills. And when you get over the hills, all of a sudden you get breaks in the cloud cover. So again, kind of depends on where you are this morning. 46 is the number here on the west side of Portland. 43 in Beaverton, 44 Tigard, 49 out in Troutdale. Nobody's cold. These are all pretty comfortable temperatures this time of the year. In fact, it's 50 in Almsville, Albany, and Corvallis. Missy is our pet of the day. Beautiful white kitty cat. I think the eyes are just gorgeous. Look at that. Pet of the day at kgw.com is email address. Send us your pet's photo and name, and they will become our pet of the day. That's Missy this morning. Forecast map, again, all dry, all areas, and some warmth. I mean, 63 in Bend. That's a nice November day, right? Partly sunny skies. John Day, 61. Should hold in the 50s for the most part at the coast and the valley. Again, if anything, we'll see thicker clouds coming up from the south later today. Cloudy tomorrow, again, 58. Maybe some showers tomorrow afternoon at the coast, but Portland, I don't think sees any raindrops really until we get into the overnight hours. And there's rain at times or showery weather Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. None of this is looking consequential. What looked to be at one time some cold enough air for snow levels below the Cascade Passes no longer is showing up. So snow levels probably 5,000 feet and higher. That's your update.
Rod, thank you very much. And still ahead on Sunrise here on KGW Plus. Baseball's betting crisis hits a breaking point. MLB and major sports books announcing new limits after two pitchers are accused of intentionally throwing balls for cash. What prosecutors say happened, and the new rules rocking the world of sports betting. Then a new idea from President Trump is sparking some debate. Why his plan aimed at making homes more affordable has experts warning it could cost buyers far more in the long run. Stick around.
Hey, I'm Blair Best, and tonight at 6:30 on The Story, I'm talking with Oregon's only Republican member of Congress. What Representative Cliff Bentz has to say about the government shutdown, the deal on the table, and its impact on Oregonians. Watch The Story tonight, live at 6:30 on KGW, or anytime on our TV app, KGW Plus. Have a great morning, and I'll see you tonight.
On weather impact alert days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On weather impact alert days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
In the wake of another big league betting scandal, Major League Baseball has announced new limits for those betting on the sport.
Yeah, the limits stem from the recent news of two Major League pitchers accused of rigging their own pitches. Now they face federal charges. NBC's Emily Ikeda has more.
Let's see if he can be efficient. Throw it over the...
In the wake of another big league betting scandal, MLB and major U.S. sportsbooks announcing new restrictions, setting a $200 limit on bets on individual pitches. The major shakeup to the booming betting industry comes as two players face federal charges. That's Cleveland Guardians player Luis Ortiz walking out of court today in Boston. Ortiz, along with three-time All-Star Emmanuel Clase, are both accused of throwing balls instead of strikes on purpose in exchange for money from bettors. This pitch from Clase into the ground netted co-conspirators betting on the outcome $58,000. And this ball from Ortiz, $37,000.
It's just a little bit outside.
While Ortiz himself got $7,000 for that pitch, according to prosecutors, and Clase the same for arranging it.
These players are getting millions of dollars and then seem to have done something very illegal for not that much money. It's truly baffling, the level of crime, and the effort just doesn't fit.
While Clase is not yet in custody, attorneys for both Cleveland Guardians players say they are innocent in the alleged betting scheme, thrusting micro prop bets into the spotlight, a wager focused on a specific event in a game rather than final outcome. If convicted on all charges, Ortiz and Clase could face up to 65 years in prison.
The Rockettes will be celebrating their 100th season in style this year.
Yeah, Radio City Music Hall is introducing a new immersive sound system, including mics built directly into the performers' shoes. Gus Rosendale reports.
You have never heard the 36-piece orchestra for the Radio City Christmas Spectacular sound quite like this.
You are experiencing the Christmas Spectacular in such an immersive way. You are a part of the show. You're a part of the holiday tradition with us.
The Rockettes celebrating 100 years and a new audio system amplifying the microphones built into their shoes.
We have patents, and we have designed these special microphones that are installed in each shoe, in the heel of each shoe, to amplify the tap sounds.
Sphere Immersive Sound, pioneered at the Sphere in Las Vegas, is now finding a home at Radio City. A new way to hear films, concerts, and other kinds of live performances.
This is state-of-the-art, boundary-pushing digital signal processing.
So here we are in the very front row, and of course you expect a good view and very good audio with seats like these. But this new audio experience continues and follows you no matter where you sit all around the Radio City Music Hall. A special demonstration for members of the media. We walked around the theater, hearing how different types of music and sound can be isolated and played throughout the arena. Every seat, no matter where, enjoying the same audio quality. Even up here in the second mezzanine, the somewhat cheaper seats, the audio is just as good. It's almost like you're sitting right down by the orchestra pit down there. That's a barking dog, and let alone a grand orchestra. It's all amplified with precision.
The introduction of the Sphere Immersive sound system has brought the Christmas Spectacular to a whole new level.
The new system debuts this month with the Rockettes and then plays at future shows starting next year.
That is my dream. It is my dream to see the Rockettes.
I was going to say be the Rockettes.
That's what I thought you were saying too.
To see the Rockettes. Actually, it's a dream to have a daughter and then take her to go see the Rockettes.
There you go. Kicking
one
it up.
step at a time. One step at a time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would really like to see that too. I've not been to a Broadway show, and I haven't seen the Rockettes.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
All right, we have a good day today on this Veterans Day, all dry. So I like to say your outdoor plans are all a go. Not really looking at any wind. North winds generally 5 to 10, even at the coast, even out in the gorge. Our next weather system coming inland from the Pacific arrives on Thursday. Today's only Tuesday, of course, so some dry weather. This system down in California is expected to throw increasing clouds from south to north up across our area today, and that's really the only thing we're watching. So it's a completely dry Veterans Day across all of Oregon and southwest Washington. Wednesday evening showers here in the valleys, our next earliest rain chance, so maybe that rain holds off to more like Wednesday overnight. And then the big update is the weather maps that we're looking at, which will still bring us some rain Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, is that these are all increasingly looking weak rainmakers with snow now mostly above the Cascade Passes, no wind threat along the coast of note, and no heavy rain episodes of note either. So just kind of getting back to, it's raining, it's kind of raining, that's kind of raining, on and off for 4 days, Thursday through Sunday. Very typical weather, nothing alarming. All right, here's Futurecast today, 9 o'clock this morning. We've actually got a mixed bag of sun and clouds this morning, but here's 4 o'clock, and that's what I just mentioned, the clouds coming up from the south across the area. No rain with any of them. This is tomorrow morning. There is one model that shows a little surge of warm air that could produce a touch of moisture, meaning a trace, maybe Astoria, Portland, or Vancouver. It doesn't show up on this model, but there's one that does show it. Here's a look at some showers just kind of nipping along the coast tomorrow afternoon, but the inland valley stays dry. And again, with our next chance of rain coming in either Wednesday evening or not until Wednesday overnight to the I-5 corridor. How much rain we talking about? Well, these are totals, remember, for 4 days, Thursday through Sunday. Decent soak at the coast, 1 to maybe over 2 inches of rain. But if this only turns out to be a half of an inch of rain or 3/4 of an inch of rain in the valley, that's not much for a 4-day period in November. Again, that's like maybe you get a 1/4 of an inch of rain one of those 4 days, maybe you don't. Here's Snoqualmie Casino Resort in Lake City. I mentioned a mixed bag. That is just gorgeous this morning, sunny blue. This is sunny blue up over Mount Hood this morning as well. I am starting to see some fog on some of the cameras. This is Persimmon Golf Club out in Gresham. It's up in elevation, but you can see that's some morning fog. And here's mainly a cloudy deck with some breaks over downtown Portland. 48 is our current number out the door. Salem's about the same. Kelso's cooler, though. 39 is your number up in Cowlitz County. I saw some fog up in Woodland as well. All right, 7-day forecast. Dry today, dry during the day tomorrow. Then the rain at times or showery weather Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Temperatures in the 40s overnight. Daytime highs in the 50s. Not bad. That's your update.
Yeah, we can manage all that. Thanks, Rod. Well, it's time for a live look from our KGW Great Toy Drive toy box. And there it is. All lit up, looking great. I think there's a few new items in there. Since yesterday, I see a few new bikes, I think. Look, we made it easy to donate to the KGW Great Toy Drive. You can make a cash donation online and let us do the shopping for you. Super simple. Just go to kgw.com/toy and put in the amount just like you saw happen right there. You can also help the old-fashioned way by dropping off a new unwrapped toy at any IQ Credit Union location, any Fred Meyer store, or any local Toyota dealership.
Still ahead, the local organization hoping you might consider becoming an organ donor. How you can help give the gift of saving lives.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Are you an organ, eye, or tissue donor? If not, that's what one nonprofit wants you to consider.
Yeah, this year, Donate Life Northwest is celebrating 50 years educating people and advocating for organ donation. Roughly 275 people attended the nonprofit's Lifesavers Breakfast last week. The theme of the fundraiser was For Good, from the musical Wicked. The executive director of Donate Life Northwest says the average wait time for a kidney in our area is 5 years. In addition to organ donation, eye and tissue donors also make a huge difference.
There's nothing more dramatic than saving somebody's sight, to restoring somebody's ability to see. That's incredible. That's what one person can do as a cornea donor. They can actually restore sight for 2 people, which is incredible. And a tissue donor can save and improve the lives of more than 150 people.
She says in Oregon and Washington, there are about 2,700 people waiting for a transplant. To register to be a donor, go to donatelifenorthwest.org.
President Trump is floating the idea of a 50-year mortgage in an attempt to make buying a home more affordable. The plan is designed to lower people's monthly payments.
However, experts say homeowners would pay a lot more in interest over those 50 years, which can be risky for borrowers and lenders. Linda Beccaro has the details.
While 30-year mortgages are a fixture in the housing market since the 1940s, the Trump administration says it's considering allowing a new, longer 50-year mortgage.
The younger generation isn't probably going to end up with a house paid off.
I think it's a great idea. I think it makes more affordability for more people.
Barbara Guerriere, a home loan consultant with Valley Bank, points out, though, that you have to factor in the interest. Let's crunch numbers according to Fannie Mae's mortgage calculator. A $500,000 30-year loan with an interest rate of 6.3% gives you a mortgage payment of $3,101 a month. A 50-year loan at 6.8% brings it down to $2,932. Using that same Fannie Mae calculator, the total interest you'd pay over 30 years is $616,000. Stretching payments out over 50 years doubles the interest to more than $1.2 million.
You're paying increased interest towards that. It also slows up the buildup of equity in the home.
If you're likely to sell the home sooner rather than later, that's where smaller payments might pay off. This homeowner is originally from Bedford.
Even if they sell it, then they've still acquired equity, and real estate's a really good investment.
I think historically, most people aren't in their homes. You know, we always say that 7 to 10 year rule.
All right, well, Washington is trying out some new tech it hopes will make I-5 safer.
It's meant to help truck drivers find safe places to park and sleep. Drew Mickelson with our sister station, Seattle, explains.
Okay. Tilden Curl's been behind the wheel of a truck for nearly 30 years.
I plan to get as far as I can on a given day.
Driving is the work, but part of his job is also strategy. Every day he drives, he needs to spend 10 hours parked.
There's only one truck parking space for every 11 trucks on the road.
So planning is a big part of driving.
That parking fills up fast. And so if you can't get a parking spot somewhere that is safe, you wind up being forced to park in off ramps and such as that, which is really unsafe.
The Washington State Department of Transportation says deadly crashes blamed on illegal parking or exhausted truck drivers motivated the state to look for ways to help drivers find places to rest.
It shows that there are 9 of 12 parking spaces available.
With help from federal funding, the state partnered with vendors on a new Parker Truck app showing drivers where spaces are available on I-5.
Here are the camera images to verify the availability of those spaces.
Eric Hooks works with Quarterhill, whose cameras and sensors help drivers see where spaces are open.
You don't really think about it, you just see these trucks and maybe they're in your way. You don't realize how many of them we need to deliver the freight that it takes to keep this country moving.
For the future, this technology will be very helpful.
Tilden Curl isn't a big app guy, so he won't be using it. He'll keep relying on his experience and his ability to plan ahead.
It's all about being safe to rest when you need rest and drive when it's most effective for you to drive.
Coming up at 8, KGW Sunrise continues live on KGW Plus with a rare atmospheric phenomenon in Hawaii.
Yeah, the story behind the video you see right there that experts are calling a volnado.